And we're back with Steve Gaito. Nice to meet you, who's a financial planner. And we're going to have a hot topic, and we're going to talk about long-term planning and care.
That's correct.
That's a hot topic. And tell me, why is it so hot?
Well, the reality is that as the population ages, there becomes a need for long-term care. And statistically, 75% of people are going to have a long-term care need in their life. From 65 on, the longer you live, the more likely you are to need long-term care. And the cost is becoming astronomical.
Really? Okay, so as a planner, what do we talk to somebody? If somebody's coming to you for the first time, what do I do?
Well, I focus on retirement planning, and you can't have a retirement plan without addressing long-term care needs. As pensions have gone away and people have replaced it with 401ks and 403bs and IRAs, you have a limited amount of resources. And so when you have a long-term care event that can cost $100,000 a year, that can significantly impact what can happen to your resources that are available not only while you're living, but for your surviving spouse.
So what are our options?
Well, there are a lot of options. A lot of people think of long-term care like you do your homeowner's insurance. It's kind of a use it or lose it, and you hope that your house doesn't burn down, right?
Right.
That's really what people are trying to, when they're thinking about long-term care, that's what they think about. But there are really 5 different ways that people pay for long-term care. The most common is that they self-fund. They pay as they go. And that's the most inefficient way of doing it. Then you have your traditional long-term care plans, like I talked about, like your homeowner's policy. But then over the past few years, there's new ways that people have come up to deal with it. The insurance companies have figured out that this is a huge need and it needs to be addressed in different ways. And so you have your pay as you go, you have your traditional plans, you have what's called an asset-based plan, which is one that's really popular for folks that have that 401k, because really all you're doing is you're reallocating some of your resources and designating it for long-term care, and you're leveraging it, which is good. You know, when you buy a house, you leverage it through the bank. With long-term care, you're leveraging it through a life insurance company. And then recently there's a new way that's come out, and it's using an annuity which provides you with income. But if you go into a long-term care or you have 2 of the 6 ADLs, activities of daily living, it allows you to double the benefit that you're receiving. So that's a great way for somebody that may not qualify for the traditional long-term care to get some coverage.
So how old should you be looking to this? How old do you recommend these, if you're looking for the future?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's different from everybody. You always want to get it before you have some type of health event. And so you need to start considering it about age 50 to 55. Statistically, 55 is the age where most people buy long-term care. But really, I see in my practice, it's usually up to about 65, sometimes even 70 if they're healthy.
So when somebody comes to you, what would be 2 of their biggest concerns in their life? Yeah. Here I am, 55 years old. What's going to happen to me? Well,
what's happening is that the folks that are 55 now, like myself, I'm 57, I see my parents that have gone through long-term care. My dad passed away 2 years ago, and he had a long-term care policy that really made the transition for my mom very affordable. And they bought it a long time ago. And so this generation is seeing the impact that long-term care has, and they see the need for it. The real question is, how do they pay for it? And that's really where I specialize, finding the way that people can afford long-term care. There's something for everybody, and it's better than doing nothing.
Well, absolutely. When they say if you saved $1 a week when you're born, how wealthy you would be together. So what can you recommend our viewers? What's the go-to?
Yeah, well, it depends. And that's why, go to my website. There's some resources that are available there at retirerm.com. There's a free book on retirement planning that's there for them. Upcoming seminars are listed on there. But you can schedule an appointment with me, and we'll sit down, because everybody is unique. And so your situation is going to be different from your neighbor's situation. And that's one of the challenges, is that people are looking for cookie cutter solutions to something that's very complex. And so sitting down, talking, and understanding how these plans work and how they benefit you, that's the best place to start.
Well, Steve, I appreciate all that good information. And if you have any questions, I recommend contacting Steve as well. And we'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.